So I imagine your gameplay looks something like this. And I get it, that sucks, because getting one-tapped is not fun. Now let's break the problem down in a very simple way. If you're consistently getting one-tapped in any elo below immortal, is the problem that you're always playing against aim demons? No. Is your aim the problem? No. You're not even getting to the point where you can shoot back. If you're getting one-tapped consistently, it means that you are consistently being too easy of a target to hit. In other words, we gotta work on your positioning, your peeking, and your movement. So let's do that, man. Let's stop getting fucking one-tapped. Okay, so let's start with the clip from the beginning where one of our Discord members gets one-tapped in Ascent mid. What he is doing wrong here is a problem that we pretty much all have, but that's really easy to fix. You should never peek the exact same angle twice. So as you can see in the clip, he's peeking short, and while he's strafing back into cover, him and the enemy Phoenix barely see each other. What does he do next? Peeks the exact same angle right away, which makes his peek as predictable as it can be, and therefore he's getting one-tapped. So in a situation like this, what we want to do in order to avoid getting one-tapped is that we are not just default peeking the exact same angle we just peeked, but instead we want to change the angle. What does that mean? Well, it means that you either go further away from the angle or you go closer towards the angle. So let's say we swung this from all the way back here. So we peeked like this, we fired a couple of warning shots, or we saw the Phoenix. After that, we are going to go closer towards the angle, and then we can wide swing, for example. So what that would look like is, let's say I shoot a couple bullets like this, I go close, I go wide, and then I try to kill the Phoenix. And this is really effective because it's going to change how your model looks on their screen. It's going to change the speed of your model, and you might say on a long angle like this, on a long distance, this is not in full effect, which is true. But imagine you're on a closer fight like this one, for example, and you peek it from back here in the first engagement. So you fight here, you don't kill each other, you don't just peek the same angle. Now you go close, so you peek, you go close, and then you can go wide, and all of a sudden you have a totally different angle for the enemy. So the first angle was over here, and the second time you're gonna be somewhere over here. So it's really hard for him to kill you, and that's very important. And if you get this down in your gameplay and it becomes second nature, you will see your duel's win rate on Inside increase a ton, because you are going to have the advantage in fights much more often. Okay, next clip from the same guy on our Discord, and by the way, this guy has insane aim and crosshair placement, but he just didn't know he's making these mistakes which are holding him back. So what is the problem here? Sitting and holding angles in common positions. Unless you have an op, you don't want to be doing that. Because imagine it from the enemy's POV. If they know the minimum fundamentals of Valorant, they will know these default positions and how to pre-aim peek them. So you're essentially allowing that Silver 2 guy to kill you by pressing mouse 1 without even having to move his mouse. And that's the opposite of what you want to be doing. You want to make him move his mouse, because I'm telling you, he's not moving his mouse like Prime 10s. So let's say we're playing here on Ascent A main. As I just explained, it's very dangerous to just sit here in a common angle like this, because of course the enemy is going to start the round by going towards A main, and then they will know that this is the first dangerous angle, so they will come here, they will peek this, boom, and you're dead. So this is not where you want to sit. So now you have two options here. The first option is if you have an agent like, for example, Jet or Reyna or ISO, anyone who can get out chamber, then you can abuse off angles. What does that mean? Well, instead of playing a default angle like here, you can play out in the open here, or even all the way over here, because a lot of players will not have that on their radar. They will peek this, see no one there, and then lazily come around here, and all of a sudden you're here or here, and you can frag them easily. So suddenly you have the advantage in a situation like this. So the round starts, you come out, you cross here, boom, you kill someone, you dash out. and you simply got a kill. Now, what do we do when we don't have such an agent? Like we're on an initiator, a controller, something like this. Well, what you can do instead of holding a default angle right here is that you peek and unpeek the angle. So what does it look like? Well, you're playing behind cover, you peek out and you go back, and you always do this. So you're basically always hiding and then re-peeking. And why is this so good? Well, imagine the enemy. This is also really effective if they are playing slow, defaulting. Let's imagine someone comes up here, they're like very thorough with their clear. They go up to this point and they're like, okay, nobody's A main. And what are they going to do? They're going to shift forward like this. If someone shifts forward like this in a situation and they are trying to get the most angle advantage here as well, well, what do you know? They're walking exactly in your crosshair. They're slow walking right here. So if you're here, you don't see them, you go back behind cover, you wait a couple of seconds, you re-peek, they're right here shifting, it's a free kill for you. So what you want to do on agents like this is that you either, jiggle peek for info all the time, or that you try to catch a good timing and you peek and then unpeek, and you peek, you wait a couple seconds, you unpeek and you peek again, and then you will have the advantage and you will not be a sitting duck in one of those common angles and get one tapped. Okay, now probably the most important tip of this video. You have to learn how to do that strafing while overflicking thing, where you dodge the first incoming bullets and then immediately one tap the enemy like you're handing out that Uno reverse card, if you know what I'm saying. So a quick demonstration of how this is going to look like and why this works. Let's say this guy here is just appearing on my screen, he's just peeking me. And I have another target over here, or my crosshair is just there. So I kill this guy, and as you saw in the examples, immediately after you want to overflick to the side of your target and then strafe onto their head basically at the same time and then kill them. Why does this work? Well, imagine your crosshair is over here, this guy is peeking you, good crosshair placement, everything. You have this like major flick, you're going to instantly flick and crouch, you're going to maybe hit a bullet, maybe miss completely, and they will be here and they just peeked you, you sit there, boom, you're dead, you're one tapped. So what we want to be doing instead is we want to prioritize our movement. So we're over here, we kill this guy and we immediately move to the side while overflicking. So boom, boom. This is how it's going to look like in, quick succession. And why this works is that essentially you're avoiding getting one tapped by immediately moving. So they are peeking you right here, they're shooting right there, but you're already strafing to the side, and now suddenly you have the advantage because you're like fighting this first guy, you're flicking over, you're moving, this guy is stationary, and you one tap them. And you want to practice this just in the range, just always over flicking and then strafing onto your targets. So essentially, if the target is to your right, as in these examples I just showed you, you overflick to the right and you move to the left, because this makes your aiming very easy as well, because you're moving and aiming in the same direction. You're moving left and you're aiming left towards the head, so it's very easy. And the same is true for the other side. If the target is to your left, so you overflick to the left, you move right, strafe onto the target. So it's basically always the same. And this you can practice in the range and then apply in your matches. So I said the last tip was the most important one, but I might have made a mistake in the script there, because this one is even more important, because our strafing overflicking tag can handle 2 enemies but not 5. And if you're not isolating angles with the discipline of a Shaolin monk, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So what does isolating angles mean? It's the same as slicing the pie, which you might have heard before. So on any area, on any map, you stay behind the cover in front of you, and then you pre-aim each common spot one after another, and then you strafe out and peek that angle. And you're going to say, come on man, everyone knows that, I'm already doing that. No, you're most likely not doing that. Just record a game of yours and check each peek. It sounds easy, but it's not. You can slip up so quickly and peek multiple angles at once. It happens to me all the time, and already peeking 2 enemies at once increases your chances of instant death by like a lot. So literally only peek out so much that you can see the next angle. All the other angles need to stay behind cover. Basically, your crosshair should be right next to the wall, so that the only position from where someone can kill you is right where your crosshair is, which means you should one-tap them first. One thing I want to say here is that of course there's spots for wide swinging and peeking multiple angles at once, and you just have to understand the logic behind it. Let's say I need to re-clear mid here in ascent and I don't have any info. If someone goes and they clear mid like this, it's very, very bad because we have this angle over here, we have angle here, someone can be close already. You're peeking essentially like 6-7 different angles at once. So when you come here, you're first clearing this angle right there, then maybe you jiggle top mid, then you clear these angles on the right. Now let's say someone is there and you fight against him, but you don't kill each other, and then you come back into cover. Now of course, since you cleared all the other angles, you're not going to go ahead and do the same thing and like clear everything and slice the pie. Of course, if you think there's only one guy there and you feel confident and you want to kill him, then now is the time to do a wide swing and peek all these angles at once because you already cleared them. So this slicing technique is for clearing unknown territories, so you get info safely, and then when you're in a fight and you feel like you can isolate a one-on-one, then a wide swing is really, really effective because it makes you a difficult target to hit and you can get the advantage instead of getting one-tapped. Okay, so depending on what type of player you're, this last one might actually be the most important tip. No, but seriously, because it's about your mentality. Valorant is a game of confidence. Why is that wide swinging enemy Reyna so deadly? Because she is so confident. So trust me, if you're playing scared, it affects everything. You play passive positions, you do very short strafes with no momentum, you try bailing out of fights, and overall, you're just not thinking clearly. You're afraid of getting one-tapped, which is why you clicked on this video as well, and therefore you play scared in-game, and this leads to you being an even easier target and getting one-tapped even more. It's like a circle, the circle of one-tap death. So here's my two-step process how you can become a confident player. First up, consistent practice. Because if you're well prepared for a challenge, you will be more confident in your abilities. It's pretty simple. So find a practice routine and stick with it so that your mechanics are always on a solid and consistent level. And then secondly, stop being so hard on yourself. It's Valorant ranked, it's not life or death. You don't have to be scared of dying here. Simply accept that it's going to happen, put yourself into as many fights as you can, and yeah, you just gotta be under pressure in order to learn how to deal with it. So just fight over and over and over, and slowly but surely you will become used to it. And all of a sudden you're going for an aggressive peek right when the round starts, get your kill and get out. And now you're that enemy Reyna everyone is afraid of.